Hello, welcome to another episode of Awakening with Soulspirational. I'm Tish, and I want to talk about showing up for your soul. So it seems like as we go through life, we often, I think a lot of us think about, the pain and the suffering, different things that we're going through, and, why is this happening to me? Why me? What's next? And not in a very positive way of asking that question. When life isn't pleasant, and in fact, I would say a lot of times when life gets very uncomfortable for us, it can often be the catalyst to get us up and moving and showing up for the soul. So what do I mean by that? If we are not in such a good state of mind, if we feel like we're victims to life, again, we're feeling the suffering, hurt, pain, we can either allow ourselves to remain in that space, or we can start taking action steps to make things better for us. So I say showing up for your soul because I think oftentimes we are nudged. When we step back and we look at different things that may happen throughout our lifetime, it could be that we find ourselves in the same type of relationships over and over again because we aren't paying attention to the type of people that we're attracting. We may not be paying attention to the type of person that we are. So when we look at the larger picture and recognize, okay, so what is it about me that I keep attracting this particular type of person, for example? When we take the time to stop and think and go below the surface to get deeper into the soul, I think my opinion is that's where we can truly find the answers. I look around with what I do at the different students I have in here, different clients, different attendees, whether it's for a prayer night or a Soulful Sunday gathering, a Reiki class, different meditations, different soul work. I see people coming in, and oftentimes it is people that, they're at a place where they have had enough of the pain and the suffering, and they are seeking. They are seeking for a better way to be, a better way to feel, a lighter way to feel, to remove some of that weight that they are carrying around. And the things that I just mentioned with the different classes, the different things to do, that's just scratching the surface. There are so many different ways in which we seek when we are uncomfortable in life. So it may be, maybe we tend to listen to music more when we're in a place of unhappiness. It could be that we're seeking out videos on YouTube, self-help videos, or self-help books, or spiritual books. We are seeking usually for a better way to be, a better way to feel, a better way to look at life. And I am asking you to continue to seek, to continue to take the action steps necessary for you to where you can get to that place internally. I feel that all of our answers are within. But when we, especially at the beginning, when we start seeking, when we have that realization that I've had enough, something has got to be better than this, we don't know what to do. And hence, that's usually when we'll turn to books or videos, whatever it may be, going to different classes. So we can start opening ourselves up to what is best for me. What do I need at this point along my journey? How can I open up to find my life purpose or my soul's purpose? We must take action steps. If we stay where we are, then we are going to stay where we are. As soon as we start taking the action steps of, getting the spiritual books or the self-help books, the next step is to read them. And if that particular book doesn't resonate with you, look for other books that may. And you may find the one that you bought first maybe 5 years from now, it's going to fit perfectly where you are. That there may very well be a reason why you pick this particular book. Again, it just may not be the right time for you. Groups. So whatever city, whatever state you're looking, that you're living in, there is a social site called meetup.com, meetup.com. And you can put in Reiki or spirituality, self-help, and see the groups that come up around your area, things that you can get involved with. It's amazing that when we're going about the mundane, our day-to-day lives, if we're surrounded by people that are more negative or caught up more in the physical, the material world, as opposed to recognizing that we're also spiritual beings, when we're caught up in just the physical, I think it really helps to pull us away or keeps us shrouded or it keeps us from that light. So when we surround ourselves with like-minded people, with more spiritual people, and let me say here too that sometimes it's like there's this stigma that if somebody is spiritual, they're probably self-righteous. Those aren't the kind of people that I want to be around. Maybe a lot of judgment. From my personal experience, the vast majority of people that I have seen, they are so loving and open and supportive. They recognize that they themselves are journeying, that they are seeking, that they are not perfect, and they're less likely to pass judgment on others because they recognize the imperfections within themselves. So I am going to encourage you, if you are in a state of suffering, feeling the pains of life, to open up, to look around, see what kind of spiritual groups there are out there. When we get together as a group, almost always it's like everybody is leaving here in such an uplifted mood. And if we have that once every 6 months, well, that's better than what we had before. But the more often you show up, even if it's uncomfortable in the beginning, because it's a new way to be and you're meeting people that are on different parts of their journey, people at different ages, different places along their journey. But when we continue to allow ourselves to take the action steps, to get out there, to be around more uplifting, higher vibrational people, we often find that we ourselves, our vibration rises. We are with a group of people that are laughing, that are joking, and it's lovely. Especially if your everyday world is one where there isn't much laughter, maybe there isn't a whole lot of joy, getting out into a group, to me, it's one of my favorite things is when there's a group of people here. But even reading spiritual or self-help books, when you can read through, even if a book, most of it, maybe it doesn't necessarily fit where you are today. If you're able to get what I call a nugget out of that particular book, where it gives you an aha moment, some self-realization, then to me, the book is worth it because you got what you needed to help push you down your path a little bit further instead of, again, becoming stagnant or staying stuck in a particular place on your journey. So again, when we just lift ourselves up and say, you know what, I'm just going to go to that group, or I'm going to go ahead and get those books, I'm going to start watching videos, create time for you. Allow yourself the time to seek, to get the answers that you're looking for. Where is this suffering coming from? Where is the pain coming from? And you may automatically know where it's coming from. Well, then what am I going to do about it? I'm very big on going below the surface, because when we stay on the surface, we're going to keep getting surface level stuff. When we go deeper, that's where the information is. And no, it isn't always easy. In fact, some of the most difficult work I've ever had to do was to go inside of my own soul and look around at my past and try to make amends, do some healing, release the stuff that doesn't belong to me, take responsibility for the stuff that does. It's been a long, long journey, but I can say it was worth it every single step of the way. And I swear things come up in life to remind us of where we used to be. And I call them mile markers. So at a certain mile marker, we can stop and look back and see the progress that we've made. It is a journey. And to me, opening up, being around different people on their journey, it encourages me, they inspire me to want to continue on my journey. As much as I believe for some of them, I inspire them. It's this collective. So even though we have to walk our own journey, we can absolutely be surrounded by other people that are walking theirs. So this unity or this community helping one another. And it feels really good, especially if we aren't getting support at home, to know that we can walk into a group of people that we know at the very least like us and more than likely love you. So you can walk in and you can feel seen and heard in a safe space and feel loved. What a beautiful thing, especially when so many people may not have experienced those things growing up. You can get them right now today. It's just a matter of taking those steps, telling yourself, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And it brings me to the word should. You know, there's that saying, don't should on yourself, because every time we say, I should do this, I should be doing that, we're adding more burdens upon our shoulders. And if we take the word should, and if you watch my past videos, you've heard me say this before, add ERS, we get the word shoulders. So if you find yourself saying, oh, I should go to that group, I'm going to ask for you to stop and either go to the group or don't go to the group. Get rid of the shoulds. Either do it or don't. And I often say it like the Nike commercial, oh, just do it. Unless it's something where you hear yourself saying, I shouldn't be doing this. But otherwise, allow yourself the courage to get out there, to be with other people, to help love and support you. And even if it's just one night of unity, if it is one night of laughter, well, if it's been a week or a month or a year or a few years since you've had that, what a blessing, because then you got it. And it's up to you how often you choose to show up for your soul. And to me, when we show up for the soul, what that means to me is that every time I take an action step for me, I'm showing up for my soul. So every time I'm here in group, even if it's a class that I've taught over and over again, I'm always learning something new. There's always something that comes up, that comes out. And I take in that information and I use that for my own healing. I may even use some of that, incorporate it into some future classes. Every time we allow ourselves to experience something new, there's usually something beautiful in the process. Even if it's just a learning lesson, there's usually something beautiful in the process just by showing up. And it could be maybe, I went to a group and I saw somebody there that mirrored me. And maybe I was uncomfortable because I saw personality traits in them that I don't like about me. Well, I was just, in my mind, I was just given a beautiful gift. I was just shown that it's time for me. There's a reason why that person popped up on my path. So to me, I take that as it's time for me to start really considering, reflecting what it is about those particular personality traits that maybe I can adjust or change. Change to me sometimes can be a very large word for people. And obviously I don't mean that in how many letters. It can be very weighty that I don't want to change. I want to I just want to make adjustments, then make adjustments. This isn't about, becoming some completely new and different person. It's about showing up for your soul. It's about releasing things that no longer serve you, getting some of that pain, some of that weight off of you that you may have been carrying around for decades. It's letting it go. It's allowing yourself to feel lighter. It's allowing yourself to laugh, to experience joy. Being present in your life, paying attention, becoming consciously aware of who you are, where you are. And again, with my past videos, if you've been watching the different videos on like subtle energy and that. So when we become consciously aware, if we're good about like scanning the body to find out where we're carrying the energy of a particular situation or an exchange we may have had with somebody, or maybe somebody currently in our life or somebody from the past life, from earlier in this life. When we can think about a person or a situation and scan the body and feel it within our being, well, now you're consciously aware of that. You know that you're holding it in your shoulders or in your stomach or in your chest or in your face. So then again, you can start taking the natural progression of moving forward, showing up for the soul. There are times that we need, it seems like inevitably, there's a time where we need to stop and just be and go about normal life, take a break from the spiritual healing process. That way we can kind of readjust to all that we've experienced to that particular point. And then once we kind of settle back in, the soul knows. When you start becoming more, maybe complacent or whatever, the soul's going to nudge you. You'll feel that reminder of getting back to your group. You'll get that reminder that you may hear yourself say, I should go get a massage. Go get the massage or don't. But when you're hearing that, or, I need to schedule another appointment with my therapist, schedule that appointment. Go out to the group. Take that class that you've been wanting to take. The sooner you start taking steps forward in your growth and evolution, your soul's growth and evolution, the sooner you can start feeling the benefits of it. The sooner you can start the healing process. The sooner you can find yourself, again, maybe laughing more, feeling more joy. I have watched so many people blossom. And it seems that a year is a really good, it seems to be the standard mile marker for people. That I'll hear after they've been journeying for a year, wow, I have learned so much inside of this year. I have grown stronger. I have been able to trust myself more. I've been able to trust others more. I used to not be able to hug, and now I can hug people comfortably. Where, we're all different. Sometimes we're doing like the very light, fingertip tap on somebody's back where we almost like really don't want to touch somebody, but we don't want to be rude. And then there are those of us that just love to hug and take that moment to really feel that energy between one another. So watching people grow and evolve has been such a blessing for me. In recognizing that even though, some of these people, it's what they've learned in group, the classes, the events that we have, it's not about me. It's about them. They didn't progress because of me. They made those soul evolutions because they showed up for their soul. And the times where maybe they didn't want to get up and get out, but they went ahead and did it anyway, every time they showed up, every time they watched another YouTube video, different meditations, allow themselves to just put on their headphones or turn up the music in their house and dance and sing. They're showing up for their soul. So they have made that progress. You know, I'm just kind of like a bystander and on certain parts of their journey with them. We can only evolve as much as we're willing to, as much as we're willing to take those action steps to move forward. So really that's what today's episode is about. Seeking, taking those action steps, showing up for your soul, doing what feels right for you, releasing some of that suffering, some of that pain, some of the burdens that we're carrying. And if you can do that through books and videos, spiritual groups, to me, everything eventually brings us inward anyway. The stuff that I do, we start in meditation almost always, because I want to bring people inward to their soul, to their own divine space. So as they are connected, as they begin to feel and or see this space within them, then they're more open to receive whatever it is from the class or the group event, whatever it may be. They're more open to receive. Their soul can feel it. And you know, if you're in the wrong group or you're reading the wrong book, your soul's going to tell you that too. You're going to feel the resistance. You know, you can ask yourself, why am I resisting this? It may be, again, that it just isn't the right book at this time on your journey. Other times it could be, oh, I'm resisting it because I really don't want to do the work that it involves to attain those goals stated maybe within the book. So then pull back and maybe work on smaller goals. The main thing is that you keep showing up for your soul. What a great way to honor yourself, by saying, I am important enough to show up for me. That could be even taking the time for a nice hot bubble bath. That's my time for my soul. It could be taking a nice quiet walk in the park. That's my time for my soul. You know what it is for you. So with that, thank you for listening to me. I just really, I see so much pain and suffering. And I think, I know how much information is out there. It's like we are so great, or so lucky, so blessed to live in the era in which we do, with all the information online. Amazon, all the books you can find on Amazon, your local bookstore, go check them out. YouTube with all the videos, the different spiritual and self-help videos on YouTube. It's just amazing. So the only person stopping you is you. The only person responsible for your soul's growth and evolution is you. Just like I'm the only one responsible for mine. So when you're ready, I wish you much grace and love and light on your journey ahead. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to email me, info@soulspirational.com. You can visit my website, soulspirational.com. And otherwise, until next time, thank you, be well, and namaste.